Hey everyone, we recorded the weekly update this week. It was a little off schedule. Normally we do these on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, but we did it on a Friday because I had to reschedule for work stuff. But hope you guys enjoy this. This is a super casual, no script, nothing's planned. We just kind of hop in the call or the stage, I guess, on Discord and live stream the current server progress. I try to show as much as I possibly can. This includes plugin progress, new ideas for the server that might be coming out soon, as well as like build progress. There's a lot of really new build progress on this that I think you should definitely check out that hasn't been showcased in the progress logs. And then, in general, like anything you see in the progress logs, we will kind of go over briefly within this weekly update and kind of click through things as opposed to just showing pictures. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Super casual. And I hope to see you guys at the next one. And if you have any questions, feedback, comments, you can always leave them in the comments of the progress log or also attend the next weekly update, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and interact there. So hope to see you there. Enjoy this. See ya. All right. All right, I just started recording, so I'm going to start. We got Luska in the chat right now. Usually, what happened last time was there was one person here. I think Banana joined. He was the only one, and then over like the first 10 minutes, like 3 other people joined. So maybe we'll see the same thing this time. Maybe we'll see even more than the 3 other people. So that'd be really cool. All right, so today I guess I'm recording right now my screen already. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen as well already. All right, so these update logs are not really meant to be very formal. They're just kind of like checking in and showing you where we're at with things. We're going to show you a lot of build progress today. We're going to show you some previews at some pets, and then we're also going to share like just general like actual like functionality of the gameplay updates. So I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you guys can give some valid feedback as well if you have any. So right now, this is what our spawn looks like. If you go to /spawn, you got the welcome to MC Towny. We got the help and the wiki. If you type /wiki, it brings you just a link to the wiki. And if you go to that website, it actually exists right now, and you can check out the wiki. And then we also have /help, but that does not exist yet. So that's a menu that will be in the works, hopefully ready for alpha. And then you can also /RTP as well. We got the main world, resource world, another resource world. But we went over this last time. We moved some NPCs, find a town over here, and we've got the chats working. And these were in some of the announcements this last week. So we have these 3 menus, join and open town. So find a town. If you want to find a town or if you want to create a town. If you hit find a town, we've got join a town, which will list the active open towns, except there's 0 towns that exist so far. So right now it just says only 0 pages available. But when we actually start that, and if you hit join our Discord, it types /Discord for you as a player. And right now that's just the default Discord SRV link giving it to you. But we will have a actual Discord menu. And there was actually a server idea posted by Elliot for the Discord GUI menu. And I've already purchased that menu, but I just have to implement it. So there were some bugs with it, with the mini messages and them being clickable. So I'm trying to fix that. And then once that's fixed, we'll try to implement that. And I've also transitioned from deluxe menus to better GUI for the GUIs, because better GUI supports Bedrock menus as well, and so I can divert. So if you click on this guy or type /find a town, it won't only just like open a menu for you. It will detect whether or not you're Java or Bedrock and give you a different menu depending on that, which I think is way better, obviously, since we're cross-platform. And then we also have a third option for find a town, which is ask in chat. And I thought this was a cool idea, and maybe it will be bad of me to do so, but you can always ask in chat to join a town to join, or ask in chat for a town to join. we'll even help you out for one time by broadcasting a message so you don't go unnoticed. So for everyone who joins the server, you have one use of this broadcast that says your name and that we need a town. Message them and help them out. And so it's done. Like after that, like there's a permission set on you, like it was used, like you can't do it again. So I can never click this again. But you know, hopefully that like gets your attention in chat, or people's attention in chat, and they can like see that you need a town. So I think that's pretty cool. And then if you come to the create a town guy, so obviously we'll have a lot of people creating towns on the first day, so this will be pretty crucial. If you want to create a town, you punch this guy, and we've got a GUI here. You can always go to the wiki, and the wiki will also explain all of this information, and also go way more in detail than I do with the in-game stuff. I try to keep it really simple in the in-game, so that just a wide variety of players can understand. But if you want to get really hardcore, you can always go to the wiki. So there's 5 steps to creating a town. I mean, really, there's only like 2 or 3 maybe. But, you know, there's like extra details that are pretty important to maintaining your town, so I included those in here. So the first step is you got to /RTP, which we already saw that menu. You teleport to the Towny world, so make sure you select the Towny world. It's in red there. And then make sure you're 12 chunks away from other towns. And then you can do /T new and then the name of your town. And it costs $10,000 to start the town. And you can earn this money through doing your jobs with /jobs or doing quests with /quests. And there's a variety of different ways to earn money on the server, which we'll go over in future weekly updates as well as progress logs. But I would say the main ways to do it is through your jobs, quests, and also player shops, like through making money through other players. Maybe you have like netherite or something, and like other people want netherite, and they're just willing to like do you some cash for it. I don't know. There's gonna be more than just netherite, but like crate keys, all these different things that you might want to sell to different players, and you can make money through that. And the player shops plugin is not really incorporated yet, but that will probably be next weekly update or the weekly update after that, right before release. So stay tuned for that. But it costs $10,000 to create a new town. And then I also say plus extra for land and upkeep, because you are going to have to pay for extra land. So the $10,000 gets you the initial claim and the also like the town name. So it's /T new, like Bob Town or something. And then that'll create Bob Town, and it'll also claim whatever area you're standing on. And then /T deposit, you're going to need to pay $15 per day per block claim, and block claims are just like a chunk of the map. So if you do if you hold F3 and G, it actually, this is vanilla Minecraft. It might not be available for Bedrock though. I'm not sure if Bedrock has this capability, but you could see the chunk borders. And so it actually is just claiming a chunk, and chunk is 16 by 16 blocks. And so when you start your land, it'll claim one chunk or one town block, and you have to pay $15 per day for each town block that you have. So if you have 10 blocks claimed, that's $150 per day. So just keep that in mind. And I would say that's a really easy amount of money to pay, by the way. Like, I wouldn't say that's anything to be worried about at all. And then /T claim around your block of land, and that will give you that'll claim the additional chunk. You have to claim on, like, so if you claim a chunk that's like, I guess in this spot of the GUI, right, if this was like a map, then you have to claim anything around it. So like here or here or here, right? Like you can't claim over here. That's like not attached to your town. I will say, just a side note, in the rankings, you do rank up, and as you rank up, you get unlocks of different outposts. So you could see right here, rank 2, you get 1 outpost. So once you could do that, if you're the owner of your town, you can claim an additional outpost. So that means that you can do /T outpost, and it will actually claim an outpost for your town, and that can be detached from the original spot. So instead of having to claim right around that little block, you can actually claim all the way over here, you know, wherever you want it. So if you even wanted to claim something in the nether or something, I don't know, there's like a million things you could do. But you just have to be at a rank to do that. And as you go through the ranks, you can claim more and more outposts. You just have to be like a leader in your town. And welcome Luke to the stage. So /T claim will give you more land, and then the outpost thing is not in this menu, by the way. but it's in the wiki. I think that's like an additional thing that's like, if you're really committed and you're like, are like, yeah, I kind of like this server, then you would like go to the wiki and check that out. And then I will say, if you are concerned about the upkeep of the towns, luckily you can set taxes. So I mean, this is like a weird thing because like, you know, you might be making a town with like your friends and maybe you don't want to charge them taxes, but like maybe you also want to like start a town that like everyone joins and you're like the coolest town around. And so maybe you have like 20 members and maybe you've never really met them or something, and maybe it's like a really like formal town, and so you have taxes and you could set taxes, either fixed taxes where it's like, okay, everyone that joins has to pay $50 a day to the town bank, or you could set percentage based taxes, which would be a percentage of each resident's balance, and you could do that with /t-toggle%. So this is just like a really quick tutorial at the spawn for anyone new to the server that is like, how do I create a town, or how do I find a town? It's definitely more complicated to create a town, but if it's something you want to do, then you know it's worth figuring it out. So that's how we do it. Welcome Nick Chicky as well to the chat. Good to see you. Okay, so that's the general gist of find a town and create a town. And I added these little punch me's. I mean, let me know your thoughts on this. I was trying to be like platform neutral with these like normally the servers say right click me or left click me or something. But if you're playing on Xbox, you're playing on PlayStation or mobile, you know, you're not right clicking or left clicking. So I said punch me. I think it's a little funny as well. So I kind of liked it, so I kept that there. And again, it's just this beautiful spawn. I just got to flex it real quick. Astigmatism built this, and I think it's one of the best things that we've got so far. I'm going to share some really cool builds, by the way, that you guys have not seen yet on this meeting here, as well as some other cool things, including these lucky blocks. So these lucky blocks are a new idea. I did put them in an announcement a couple days ago, maybe like 5 days ago, three or 4 days ago. But basically, when you're mining, digging, wood cutting, or anything else, really, if you're breaking a block, you have a chance at any moment for the block that you just broke to be replaced with one of these blocks. And each one of these lucky blocks is going to be associated with a different like set of like random drops. So for example, if you get a yellow one, which I would say is probably one of the better ones, then you have, this is literally the only thing that's probably going to drop from this is like premium currency. So on the right here we've got cash and then we've got coins. You know, every Minecraft server has like their premium currency. This is like a chance for like players who maybe like don't want to spend money on the server, maybe like they just don't have it or don't really care to. They could still get in-game premium currency via these blocks, and that's true for actually probably a lot of these blocks, but this one particularly, you can earn it. And in general, I would say for the server, I want to try to make that like a thing where like, yes, you can donate to the server and support, and I think that's great, and I want to reward that, but also at the same time, for people who don't want to spend money, like you could still earn a lot of the same stuff that people who are donating, you could still earn the same stuff. And then you know, like a green block, that's probably a cash oriented one. And then what I was thinking was like TNT, like maybe there's a TNT armor set or like sword, like tool set that comes with this. And so what I wanted to do was basically like, yeah, coins, cash, armor set, like different things would be like different like rarity, like armor and tool sets. And then certain things will be like more cash or coins, or maybe cosmetics and different things, depending on the set. And this is a really cool one. And these are still being worked out, what the drops will actually be, and these will be communicated through the progress logs in the coming weeks before release. And we might not have all of them ready before release, so forgive me for that, but I'll try my best to get as many ready as possible. Crates still have not made much progress since where we left off. Still have just fly vouchers in the vote crate here, and that's pretty much the only crate that exists. But we're gonna continue pumping these out. Crates are pretty much the last thing that probably comes out, since I have to kind of build the whole foundation of the server first to really determine what is of value to give in crates. And that's where I want to share what I think is really of value to give in crates, which is behind me, which is the pets. And so this is like the first time that I'm really showing a large variety of some of the pets that we're going to see on the server. None of these pets really are really configured to be optimally like your pet yet. Right now, they kind of just exist as like mythic mobs. So I could spawn them in, and actually, if I go to /pets, we'll see some rarities here, and I have to fix this. This should be red, but we'll see some rarities. There's common, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic pets, and I think I might have. You probably have seen this one before, but we've got this mythic pet, level 1 Owlin, and you level them up by fighting them right now, and I might transition that depending on the pet. It might be like fighting, or it might be like just like time spent active, because like some of them might not even be fighters, you know, like some of them might give you boosts, like I don't know, what the Pegasus right now has like feather falling boosts, you know, it just gives you like infinite like float falling or something. I'm not sure how much I'm going to commit to that, but like some of them might give you like boosts, like maybe you gain more interest from your banker. Like there's a million things that could happen. Like we could do like different economy based items, but that's still being worked out. So that's what and Luska said they will be available in server release. So right now where I'm at, and I said this in the last progress log like very vaguely, but like all these pets will probably be visible in the pet sanctuary, which I'm going to show the new. None of these builds, by the way, are like modern. This is not the build server. I'm going to go to the build server in a second here, but the this was the pet sanctuary, but there's a new one we're working on. But basically there's going to be like different habitats for these pets, and you'll be able to see them active in their habitats, but not all of them will be ready for you to actually claim as a pet. There will probably only be like a handful that are actually ready, just because these guys are not necessarily like first-hand made to be pets in the way that I'm trying to make them, and so each one needs to be like kind of carefully crafted to act and behave like within the server economy, and make sense, so that players can like level them up and like not too fast, not too slow, and like the rewards for leveling them up are not like totally awful, you know what I'm saying? So so right now they kind of exist as models, and they have their animations and whatnot, and they can attack. Actually, if I spawn, this is gonna be a little hectic here, but if I spawn this zombie, they're all gonna try. Yeah, they just obliterated him to the sky. One of them makes guys fly. It's a little ridiculous, but it's kind of sick. Like I think people will really want to get after that one. But yeah, they all have their different like abilities, and some of them are like long range, some of them are just like short range, and just like kind of like he's got a sword, so he just kind of goes up to you and slices at you. But yeah, we'll have different rarities, and like let me just show you. This isn't a legendary, but it says rare. But Lumina, you know, like Lumina is pretty cool. Lumina does like a fire beam or light beam. It's like a light ghost. Bye bye zombie. So yeah, they kind of just obliterate right now. Not all of them do though, and so especially for the ones like a cute fox or something, or like a cute dog, those ones are going to be the ones that probably give you more so like stat boost to your player. Like this cat, like he's so useless. He's got to be at least. I just hit him and nothing happened. But yeah, and you might have seen some of these pets before. These are all pre-built by either what are their names? Noxy or Toph Noxy. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce their names. They're really good 3D modelers, and we're using their models because they're pretty good to start off with. I would like to commission some more down the line. And Luska had the great suggestion to get the monkey in here, and so we're probably gonna get the monkey in here at some point, because I also really like the monkey, especially the one you sent. So we're definitely gonna look into that. But this is what we got for now here, and then we're gonna focus on getting these guys set up as actual pets that you can get via the crates, via the lucky blocks, and other aspects of the game, and maybe just like buying them through in-game cash. So that's where we're at now. And then I think that's pretty much everything I have here that's really new. One thing more, I guess, yesterday I announced the banking, and banking is, it's an interesting one because I'm still kind of working out the kinks, and this is something that I'll need community feedback for. But like, we've got this banking menu, and I also just built the Bedrock version of this today. Sorry, Bedrock, but it's not as like pretty as this. It's kind of a lot harder to get textures onto Bedrock than it is on Java. But so you have your bank account, and you can deposit cash at any point. You come over and deposit 500. I don't even have money at all. All right, there's 20,000. So I can deposit money, deposit 1,000, or you could deposit all, whatever you want to do. So I just deposited 6,000. My balance is 6.5K. My capacity is 25K, and I get 0.15% interest on my cash in here, and I've gained $9.75. Or I'm sorry, I will get $9.75 in interest in 8 hours, which is pretty cool, And as you develop your bank account and grow your economy, you'll be able to make more money just by doing nothing, which is pretty cool. And this activates whether you're online or not, so that's pretty cool. Withdraw, deposit, obviously, and then you can upgrade your bank. So right now my capacity is at 25K, but if I upgrade, the capacity doubles to 50K, and the cost to upgrade is 10,000, and it comes from the bank. So let me actually just deposit just to show that. But if I click here now, my capacity will go up to 50,000, and I will also get 0.01% on my interest rate, which is pretty cool. So you gain just a little bit more. So I successfully upgraded my bank. Now it's level 2. And so now I've got a level 2 bank, and I have higher capacity and a higher interest rate. So that's just like a fun, cool little way to not only get people to like interact, because you have to come here to come use your bank until you're like rank 8 or sorry 7. No 8. Once you rank 8, then you can / bank deposit or withdraw from anywhere, which is a nice little perk. But I really want to like emphasize like people coming here and kind of interacting and seeing each other. So that's kind of part of the idea of this bank. This paycheck thing does not work yet, but there's an idea in me right now where you get a paycheck for your job as opposed to it going right to your account. You kind of come here and withdraw it, and that way you're already here and you can just kind of throw it in your bank account if you'd like. That's just a thought right now, and I'd love to hear feedback on that too. But yeah, that's the bank. So that was one of the new features. And then we've also got the library, and this is still in works, but the librarian will probably be something with enchants and special enchants on the server. So I'm really looking forward to setting that up. That is pretty much all we've got so far for the recent developments. Trying to think really quick before we move on to the builds if there's anything else to show. I think I did show the jobs menu. I have decided I'm going to trim this jobs menu down for a few reasons. I think that the crafter, brewer, weaponsmith, fisherman, actually fisherman's not too bad, but I still might get rid of it. The builder, like I think some of these explorer, I think some of these jobs are kind of like silly, Like I think the miner makes a lot of sense. I think most players spend a lot of time mining. I think wood cutting is pretty common. I think hunting, like killing mobs, is pretty common. And also, like, it's pretty cool if you set up like a mob grinder and you can grind this job out. Farming is relatively common, but I would say like there's a lot of people that kind of find their ways around farming. Enchanting is like a crazy thing. I think like to get like paid to just like enchant tools all day, it's kind of a lot more work than just mining blocks. Like I think there's such a difference in the like effort gap, between miner and enchanter. So I'm gonna probably get rid of enchanter entirely, and then explorer is kind of lame. It's like enter new chunks, first enter, second enter. Like this is completely useless profession once the 5th person to enter every single chunk happens. Then it's like you can never level up explorer ever again or earn money from it because everything's been entered 5 times. So it's kind of silly to me. I thought it was kind of cool at first, but I've been thinking more about it, and I think I'm going to narrow down this to like 5 jobs. So, and then once you rank 10, you can access all 5. And I'm not fully sure yet, but it's probably miner, woodcutter, hunter, digger, and probably builder, I would say. But I'm not confident yet. So that's a work in progress. I don't know if I went over this last weekly update, but something huge is the bedrock conversion capabilities, and I'm going to open up my my bedrock account to showcase that, because I think that is probably one of the cooler things that'll be crucial to the success of the server. I think in modern day, like if you don't have bedrock capabilities, it really hurts a large percentage of the amount of players that play Minecraft. I think actually someone told me that majority of the players in modern day are on bedrock, which is kind of ridiculous to me because Java is definitely better. But it kind of makes sense because like I look at my little cousins who play on their iPads, or they play on, you know, a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox or whatever. And so it's like, it's just easier that way. And that's what they grew up on. So that makes sense that the younger generation plays Bedrock a lot. And so I wanted to account for that. So we have Bedrock support, and I'm going to switch screens to show that. All right. All right, so we've switched screens, and here we are. I'm just switching that over. Okay, so this is Bedrock, and there's a few differences with Bedrock. The chat is obnoxiously large. That's probably my least favorite thing about Bedrock. Other than that, I actually really enjoy Bedrock. It runs smoother. It kind of looks a little nicer. The scoreboard is obnoxiously large as well. There's no tab. Some of these textures don't work yet. This is something I'm still working on, but you'll notice that the rank on the side of the scoreboard, that does work. So there are textures that I have converted, but the last time I did a Bedrock texture pack conversion, which is like a manual thing, I didn't have lucky blocks, so I still need to do that. But I'm kind of waiting to do that until we have like a few more things added. Another difference is that like the way that holograms show up in Bedrock is a little different. These are some old scoreboards that still need to find their home, but we're working on it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress on Bedrock. If we come over here, I feel really slow on Bedrock too. I don't know, maybe like running just feels slower. But if I hit on this guy, bank management, account name, so it's kind of all the same stats and stuff that you see in Java, except it's formatted a little differently because Bedrock menus are different. And the reason why I can't just do inventories is because of two reasons. The first one being items show up completely differently for some items in Bedrock. For example, glass panes. I'm trying to think if I have a menu I could show. I don't even know what these are, but there's a few things. So with Bedrock texture packs, you can't have graphics that are larger than the text. So like the rank on the side here, like when I talk in chat, like that's cool because that image is like the size of chat. But if that thing gets too big, like if I type in fire, that thing's way too big, and it literally scales the chat. Actually, that's a little contradictory to what I'm about to say, but there's basically some weird graphical issues with Bedrock that it doesn't really match up with Java. And so one of those is like, oh, here's a good example, /ranks. So in the Java menu, and this is the Java menu, but it's in Bedrock, and I need to make a Bedrock version of this ranks menu. All of these items transfer over fine, but the menu itself, like that graphic that you might have saw earlier, is tiny right here. You can see this is just a picture. It scales down to the size of the text. It doesn't let you go bigger, but in Java, it does go bigger. And so it's a little different. So there's that difference, but there's also, look at that giant fire in the chat. And then there's that difference. And then there's also, if you're on Bedrock and you open your inventory, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 the blocks per row. It's like 5 or something. It's like something random. It's not as symmetrical as this. And so having a menu that's ordered in that way doesn't work. And so we need to build out certain Bedrock menus to account for that. And that is why we have these special Bedrock menus that aren't, I actually kind of like them a lot, and I wish we could use these in Java for some things, but we can't. But we have these special Bedrock menus. So you come in here and you can do deposit/withdraw just like you would in Java, and then you can also upgrade your bank level. If you upgrade, it'll bring you to the upgrade menu where it shows more stats, and then you can hit upgrade bank. I don't have enough money right now. You see I do have actually $985,000 in there, but I need to deposit the money before anything. So right now my bank account I only have 8.5 thousand, so I'm going to deposit. And this is actually a really nice perk about playing on Bedrock, is that you can type in the amount of money you want to deposit. This will be added in Java. There is a way to do it, just not yet, because it's not really a priority of mine for base functionality for alpha, but that will be something added in the future. For now, you can do like 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, and then all of your money at once. And you can kind of just go through those to get to the value you want. But on Bedrock, you can actually deposit, and I'm going to just deposit 50,000, and it deposits 41.48 thousand because that hits my capacity. But now that I've got that much money, I have a 16,000 in the bank account, and I can upgrade to the new statistics of 80,000 capacity and 0.17 interest rate every 12 hours. So then I can upgrade the bank, which is pretty cool. And I come in here and I get the capacity upgrade. So yeah, I definitely, it's a lot more work to get the Bedrock working, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. There's a lot of people that nowadays that play on Bedrock, and I want to be able to account for that. So, so that's some Bedrock updates here, and there's no pet functionality yet in Bedrock. That is going to be probably per pet. I have to build out the textures for each pet manually for Bedrock, as opposed to like a more simple conversion that the chat textures and other things are. So this will take a little bit longer, and I probably will do that for like during alpha / like into beta, and then for now Bedrock players just won't be able to see some of the pets that are in the pet sanctuary. So let me actually go and show you the actual updated pet sanctuary really quick, though, while we're on the topic. I'm going to change screens back to my Java game. Okay. So this was the old pet sanctuary. This is kind of something I'm not really okay, I got to close out my Bedrock. All right, I'm not really a great builder, as you can see. I worked with the Sigmatism a little bit, but it was mostly me just kind of like showing him the general idea for what I wanted for this, which is just like different sanctuaries for different genres of pets. Like for example, over here, we have this little lizard salamander, and then we have where's the guy at? Yeah. Oh, and then we have this magma monster. They're kind of similar in vibe, but they're different. They're different pets entirely, you know. But they're both like magma guys, and so like for these guys, both of them could live. They could cohabitate in a magma type. What do you call it? Sanctuary atmosphere thing. I don't know. I forgot the word. But I'm gonna go to server build. We have a few servers. And this is kind of a hub server in some ways. Not that it is a hub server. It's just MC Towny. But we have like the foundations for it being a hub server. And so the reason for that is so that we're able to have a build world, a test world. And then we do have a hub world so that we could eventually, if there's some reason why that we need to like have a hub that players go to before they log into Towny, maybe that's like bot prevention or something, then we have that and it's ready to go. So, but for now, you guys will just connect directly to MC Towny. So anyways, here's some of the new builds that are being worked on, and these are like really cool, crazy upgrades from what you guys have seen prior. The texture pack that's on this server is completely different from the texture pack that's on the other server, and that will be updated. The one that's on the Towny server is the real one. But let me just show you some of the builds that I've been working on. So this is the updated pet sanctuary. As you can see, it's branded with the little paw. I think that's pretty cool. And we got the pets right on entry so that new players can know, like, kind of one of the crucial aspects of the server. I really want pets to be a huge thing. Obviously, they'll be being worked on in alpha. So, you know, appreciate your patience with that. But they will be a really big part of the server. And it's someone, the new builder, Anlag, actually. And congrats, by the way, announcing that now. Anlag is a new builder who's been helping with these. He brought up if there would be dungeons or not. And that is something that I've been thinking about. That will be a later game thing. Potentially we will have dungeons and you can bring your pets within those. And there will be some more depth to the gameplay in case you get bored of just like your town or something. I would say most of alpha will be spent just like playing Minecraft and getting the foundations of your town set up. But as alpha progresses and as we grow into beta, these other features that kind of add a lot more depth will be built out. I would say pretty quickly, but I would say they're not all going to be ready for alpha. So here is the pet place, and there's going to be instead of just these rooms, they're going to be the sanctuaries like we had, except now it looks way nicer. And I really love the mangrove planks that are being used here. No one really uses these, but I think that Hawk did a really great job at using them and making it look good. Like this, you can't tell me that doesn't look bougie. That looks so sick. So oh, and then what do we got up here? I haven't even seen this. Oh, they built like a whole aquarium fish tank up here. This is sick. So we got some really great builders on the project, and they're building some really cool things. While I was actually just out, Hawk built this really cool fountain. And there's actually a redstone component to it that like it makes the water move around. I don't know how to trigger it. Hawk was telling me, he DM'd me something, but I don't really know how to activate it. So for now, I'm just gonna look at it in its glory, and it kind of looks sick, even without it being active. So, and then over here we've got the leaderboard hall, and we tried to connect it, and this is kind of a little bit of a work in progress, but trying to connect it because I think there's some crucial parts to joining the server, which is lucky blocks, crates, pets, and then leaderboards. You know, like, okay, we have a competitive aspect, we have a really fun aspect, we have the basic crates that everyone has on their server, and it's like this luck game that's pretty cool. And then we also have this unique thing called pets. So I wanted to highlight all of those as quick as possible right off rip when you join the server. So that's why we have this pathway. But the leaderboards will be up here, and these will be like, the interior will be more designed once we get the leaderboards established. And then we're working on this castle as well. This is we newly obliterated the old one, and this new one is being worked on. So that's kind of the progress on the builds, and I think they're really coming along well. We've got Hawk, and we've got Anlag, and we've got the lead builder, Astigmatism, on it, and they are absolutely crushing it. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the choices we've made in builders, and I'm really happy with the general progress that has happened so far. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else right now to go over. I want to cut it short. Last time we went a little bit longer, but that was kind of like a first impression, going over like all of the foundation. I guess I'll like throw in some other things really quick before we end it, which is like, we have fishing. I went over this last time, but we didn't record it, and now that we're recording, I'd like to like show it. Fishing, pyro fishing plugin. You might have played on a server with this before, and we've got 300 plus custom fish. So if you go to the codex, you can see there's different rarities, and there's like a placeholder issue here. And then also we need to figure out how to do this for bedrock. That's going to be definitely complicated. But we've got different ranks of fish that you catch, and if you go into them, right now they have different biomes, but because we're using custom biomes, I'm probably going to make these into all of them being available in all biomes. And they all sell for different amounts, and that also differs based on the weight of the fish that you caught. And you can kind of just collect them all, you know, which I think is pretty cool. There's different things that go into it that you can learn about when you join the server. Quests is a thing that is used to be, so we used to be using this thing called daily quests, and that was pretty cool, and we had a custom graphic for it, and I think it's somewhere in the progress logs. We're actually obliterating that, and we're going with this plugin called Quests. It's a very straightforward name, and as you can see, I have not configured it at all, but we're going to be configuring some really deep, some really good quests. I wouldn't call it like really deep per se, but basically every single day you'll be able to open up the /quests menu, and you'll be able to like take up different quests, which would be like mining certain blocks, killing certain mobs, planting certain crops and harvesting them, whatever it is. You know, there will be a quest for it. So as you do your pretty much daily basic like survival things, you can just take up a quest and earn money for it, which I think is pretty cool, on top of your job, and on top of like selling your items in a player shop. And then, okay, sorry, so there's one last thing before we go, actually, that's super important, because this is something that I think is a pretty huge breakthrough actually from today. We've also switched up on the website. We now have a new map plugin. So instead of using DynMap, we originally had DynMap set up, or DynMap, DYNMAP. That was the original plugin we were using for our map. But now if you go to map.mctowny.com, we've got a new plugin set up called Square Map. And this map plugin just loads faster. It's like it's definitely more optimized. I mean, it's kind of, there's a black square here. That's a little this goes against what I'm saying right now. But for the most part, I would say this is a lot better of a plugin, and its loading is way faster. The colors are a lot more saturated, and I think it makes it look a lot better. And then yeah, like I'm zooming out, and it loads pretty quickly. If you saw the DynMap, it was not as good. And then also the red border is built in, so I don't have to like make markers to do that. You also get to see the player list here, and then you could turn off different markers, and you can also turn off. There's going to be Towny claims are going to be one of the checkboxes here, and you'll be able to see the Towny claims in the map. And then also player warps will be here, and you'll be able to see the player warps on the map. And you can filter those if you don't want to see them and stuff. And actually, let me go RTP to the Towny just to show you. But you can see players on the map. I don't even know where I just TP'd to. Oh, here we go. There we go, big chunk among us. So you'll be able to see players on the map, and as well as town claims and all the other stuff. So I think it's pretty cool. So if you're on the server or not on the server, you can always just check out the map. There are other map plugins that I've looked into that do allow more depth, instead of just like seeing this like above view, which by the way, this updates as you build. So, you know, if you start building the house, you will start to see it on the map. But there are the plugins that give you more perspective views, and like you can like dive in and like kind of almost like you're a Minecraft spectator player. But I think that's just too much and not necessary. Would give people like access to things that might be intended to be private. So I don't want to do that. It's gonna like eat up server resources, and yeah, and then let people into private things. So I think this map is good. I think it's perfect. We also have Live Atlas as an add-on to this, and this is Live Atlas is an additional plugin, or additional, sorry, not a plugin, but it's like an add-on that you can add to like most of these map plugins that lets you like right-click, and you can like get links to different coordinates, copy link to here, center here. There's like just cool things like this black UI and this UI that you're seeing. This is all Live Atlas UI. Live Atlas kind of gives like a more enhanced user experience for the map, which I think is really cool. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the update this week, and this is recorded, so you'll be able to watch it again if you'd like. And I appreciate everyone for joining. Before we go, is there anyone that wants to say anything? Any feedback? Any comments? I love to hear whatever anyone's got to say. Even if you want to just like say like this is mad lit. All right, looks like we got Mick Chicky. He wants to. We're gonna invite him to speak. All right, guys. Sorry about this, but I forgot to record computer audio for this time around, so there's no Q&A or feedback that I could actually show you on this recording. So you're gonna have to come to the next weekly update to see that stuff, and I'll also try to record it for next time. But for now, we don't have it for this one. Sorry. All right, and then we also got the we also got this MC Towny little thing. I think it's pretty cool. We're gonna make it a little bigger and hang it over the castle. And it's gonna look dope when you walk in. We got a beacon. Oh, beacon, that's powerful. All right, yeah. Yeah, the MC Towny logo. We got it built out. It's probably gonna be built bigger though, and we're gonna throw it up higher up. We're just it's kind of outdated. We had that built, and now we're building a bigger castle, so that's gonna probably go up higher, and it might be a little bigger too. So, all right, well, I'm gonna conclude this recording. Appreciate you guys coming in, and I hope to see you guys in the next weekly update. Goodbye.